What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a really good evening tonight. I just figured I'd get on for a little bit on my last day off before I return back to work and talk about what's going on in 49er land. There's a little bit of news coming out of there, so I figured I'd hit it and get into a nice active discussion with everybody. What's going on, Jay in the Bay? How are you tonight? I just figured I'd sit here and talk about a couple things that have been coming across my time newsfeed on Twitter, things that I've made videos about, and then just get everybody's opinion on, if they feel the same way or they have a different opinion, whatever. But I guess the first thing we could talk about out of everything is just the news coming out of camp of how good Trey Lance is looking. You kind of measure news by who's reporting it. You measure news by if the people reporting it. Thank you for the compliment about the lid. Thank you. Hello, Main the Dream. Hello, 49ers Ultimate Report. So I wanted to talk about how, depending on who reports news, is kind of where you can kind of derive whether it's something you should pay attention to or not. And both Matt Mayoko and Matt Barrows have both been highly impressed with Trey Lance in camp, especially coming from a guy like Matt Barrows, who's been on the 49ers beat for a really long time and has seen a lot of quarterbacks. When you see a guy like that be impressed by a rookie, it's something to take stock in. Now, it's 1 week of camp, and he was going against the twos pretty much. So when pads come on and he's going against the number one defense, then we'll see. But as of now, the reports are he's looking really good in camp. He's had a couple struggles here and there with accuracy and stuff. But the day that Jimmy had the two interceptions, the one that was returned for a pick six and whatnot, Trey shined that day. I know they were doing a lot of run action stuff with Trey, holding the ball, pulling out of the running back's gut, and, taking off around the back end of the play. And he did that numerous times against the Niners' number 2 defense and had nothing but green grass in front of him. So they're good reports. I mean, I know the media can kind of curtail things and have a narrative and stuff, but this is coming from reputable sources who follow the 49ers for a long time, and the fact that they're impressed about what's going on in camp is a good sign. So I wanted to read this comment here from 49ers Ultimate Report. It says, I wanted to say hi first takes. For a month, everyone who wanted Mac Jones and Justin Fields. Trey may be raw talent, but the upside is showing. Yeah, that's what everybody's saying. I posted a clip from 95.7 The Game. It's another Bay Area radio station, and it had two of their guys just tripping all over themselves, talking about how good Trey looked in camp. So that's a good sign so far, but we'll wait till the pads get on and, things get a little bit hectic in the second week and, third week of camp as we get towards the preseason. But as of now, things are looking good. So I can genuinely say I'm happy so far. There's been reports of other people that are doing well in camp right now. So, again, you want to take stock in things, but you don't want to make draw too much of a conclusion right now because, again, it's only been 4 days. Of course, the big story that I reported on my channel a couple hours ago was the Jalen Hurd topic. Now, I'm not bashing him, and I'm not making fun of him. I'm just saying, so Friday was a rest day, and Saturday he was supposed to come back. I forgot what other player was having a rest day with him. I don't know if both of them came off a knee procedure, but they were both given a rest day on Friday, and he was supposed to return on Saturday. And as of now, nobody knows where he was on Saturday. There was no reports. There was no coverage of it, but he was supposed to be there on Saturday, and he was not. I reported on my channel that, if it's an injury situation, things could get really dicey and sketchy for him and his future if it's another injury and another elongated recovery. Now, if it's not that and it's, say, something like COVID or he had a personal family matter or whatever, then that could be that too. I'm not here to bash him. I'm not making fun of him, like I said, but something to keep watch on. I made the video and I said, where is Jalen Hurd? After 2 years of not, being able to get on the field, it's right for 49ers to want to ask the question, and rightfully so. A lot of people are, kind of comparing it to Jerick McKinnon. I forget the other running back that was on this team that never made it, who was drafted with like multiple knee injuries. I forget his name, but it's definitely concerning, and it's definitely something to watch out. There's been some good reports coming out of camp, and a lot of players are flashing, but that number 3 wide receiver position is definitely something to keep an eye on, because we don't know who it's going to be. We don't know if it's we don't know who that number 3 is going to be. It could be anybody. People are saying Sanu, but realistically speaking, would you want Mohamed Sanu to be your number 3 wide receiver? Probably not. You would probably want a younger guy that has a lot more upside and has more to offer. But that position to me right now is as wide open as it's been. Hello, Jay in the Bay. Hello, 49ers Ultimate Report again. I said hi, but I'm going to say hi again. Hope you guys are having a good night. Pinor said Hurd is dead to me. I wouldn't go that far yet. I'm just concerned because we don't know. The Niners didn't release any type of information. So if a guy's supposed to be in camp and he doesn't show up, questions are abound. You can ask anybody. Mayoko's been asked. Barrows has been asked. Even a guy like Jason Aponte, who I've had on my channel, who's actually at 49ers training camp, has no idea either where Jalen Hurd is at this moment. So, like I said, keep your eye on it, guys. Prepare your mind for anything. Jay in the Bay says Hurd has not had a setback in training camp, and we have no idea why he wasn't at camp. Hopefully Shanahan will fill us in on the details. Yeah, so Monday we'll hopefully get an answer. I've been off all week, so I've had a lot of time to kill. So hopefully me being back at work now, I won't worry so much. Welcome to the channel, Landis Odoms. What's up, man? How you doing? If you're new to the channel, thank you for dropping in. If you've been here before, guys, thanks for your support. I appreciate it. I just passed over 1,300 subscribers, so for everybody I've known for a long time who's been on my channel and subscribed to it, I appreciate it. For anybody new who's just subscribed, I appreciate it too. This is a labor of love. This is something I do because I love my team. A lot of us 49er YouTubers are the same. We do it because of the love for the red and gold. And we just love talking football. We love interacting with the community and the people that support the same team. And so I just want to say thanks to everybody. So there's been some reports in camp that Debo's having a really good, strong camp. There was a report that was made that said that he was really upset on one of the underthrows that Jimmy had an interception in camp where he got picked off by Jason Verrett, and that Debo was visibly upset at Garoppolo for the underthrow, because anytime you see a highlight with with Trey Lance getting that ball, that thing is arcing and flying downfield, and guys are able to run up underneath it. And he was, like I said, he was visibly upset at Garoppolo, and he's been definitely used more in camp in the deep passing game. He says he wants to be part of the deep passing game. So if that's going to be the case, then we know who, eventually would be the quarterback. I'm not saying that Garoppolo can't throw it long, but it's not something that he tries because it's not something at the deep game. He excels at the short to intermediate. That's his bread and butter. That's what he does well. Thank you very much, 49ers Ultimate Report, for the $2. Congrats on 1.3K subs. Let's get him to 1.5 and 2K ASAP. Thank you very much, my man. I appreciate that. There's talk that there's talk with the receivers that, I don't know if you guys remember last year watching games and watching how visibly upset like Ayuk was, just with quarterback's inability to stay accurate when throwing the deep ball. And, our offense has been very condensed over the course of the years that Garoppolo has been here. So if and when and where Trey Lance takes over, be ready for an offense that's going to open up and that's going to get downfield, because once that happens, that opens up everything, because now with, the ability to stretch it, you can also run it because, the middle of the field is going to be wide open and vice versa. So all those things, depending on when Trey Lance takes over, are going to come into effect with this offense. What you see is what you get with Garoppolo. We see what he can do. We know what he can do. You're not going to learn something new with him. He's not going to all of a sudden become a great deep passer and change the way he plays. Garoppolo is what it is. He's a known commodity. Trey Lance right now is still an unknown commodity. We know some things he can do, but there's a lot of things we still haven't seen, and we're not going to see until he gets on the field. So, Garoppolo is a known commodity. We know what he can do. We know his limitations, and it's just going to be a matter of time if and when this kid takes over that we're going to see a different offense that we haven't seen before, and it's going to be fantastic, and I cannot wait. Listen, if Jimmy plays well early on in the season, then keep him in there. But from the way he looks at camp, he looks like the same old Jimmy. You know what I mean? It's nothing new. He'll look really good for a while, and then he'll make some bonehead interceptions. That's Jimmy's game. That's what he's been since he's been on the 49ers. So he's not doing anything that we haven't seen before. And like I said, if he does really well in the early part of the year, then yeah, keep him in there. But I would definitely like to see the kid at some point. Who knows how it's going to work out? Who knows how that whole situation is going to play itself out? But I definitely can't wait and to see him on the field because, like I said, if you give up that much draft capital, then you definitely want to see your results sooner than later. That's not just coaches, but that's, people in the front office as well. So definitely something to watch out for and something that I'm very excited about. I can't wait till the preseason. I don't want anybody touching the field in the preseason of a starting variety, except for Trey Lance. I want to see what he can do. So hopefully that will happen. Another standout at camp has been Arden Key. He was a draft pick by the Raiders that never really panned out much. An outside pass rusher. They say he's got good bend, but he just has never been able to put it all together and make an impact with the Raiders. And so far in camp, he's been a big standout with Chris Kocurek. Chris Kocurek is a psycho and a maniac the way he coaches these guys with the wide nine, but he definitely gets a lot out of his players. So I'm not surprised that Arden Key is showing some flashes of what he could have been coming out of college. Zach Kerr is having a really strong camp, another big interior defensive lineman. Again, with Chris Kocurek as your defensive line coach, he's going to get the best out of what you have. And that's the one thing about him. You can say whatever you want about the wide nine and how it's susceptible to things. But when it comes to getting after the passer, it's definitely something that I enjoy and I appreciate, that, he can get the best out of guys that maybe on other teams you wouldn't have seen it. But because of the way he coaches them and the scheme that they run, they're able to take advantage of their, athletic ability. 49ers Ultimate Report says starters will get 1 or 2 series and the rookies and second and third teams will play 3 quarters. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't even put him in the starters at all in the preseason. Maybe offensive line starters. You guys can admit that it's scary that we, are at this point where we don't want our starters playing in the regular or preseason because of the injury concerns that we've had. So I'm not the only one who believes this way. Larry Krueger ahead of mine, he believes the same thing. You got to get some football out of some of these guys to see what you got. But if you can avoid putting most of your high-level starters out there in the preseason, you'll be fine. So you're rusty in the first couple weeks, big deal. Would you rather have them all year or lost in, the first quarter of the first preseason game, you know? You got to take that all into consideration. Pinor says, Arden Key, for Solomon Thomas. Thank God the Raiders don't have common sense. Yeah, I've heard that somewhere else. I try to remember where I heard that. It might have been Jason Aponte and what's his name? That everybody Grant Cohn. They were talking about the same thing and talking about how the Raiders are stupid so far. You know, he's looked like the better player so far. So, yeah, he's definitely been a standout in camp. DJ Jones is having a strong camp from what everybody is saying, so that's also a good sign. DJ Jones, what it is with him is he just needs to stay healthy. That's his biggest issue, is staying healthy. Robert Tuncap says, since we're scared about injury to the starters, we should just play Trey Lance for one quarter. I'd be down with it. He needs to get in there. I mean, he hasn't played football, you know, in a really long time, so that kid needs to get some reps. You don't want him to get completely destroyed behind a third-team offensive line, though, so you might have, you know, I would say put the starting offensive line in there, maybe a couple starters on the defensive line, maybe one or two starters in the secondary. It's just hard, man. The injuries, the way they've been the last couple of years, it's just like the preseason to me, I feel like you get your answers mostly in training camp anyways, and that the preseason's mainly for your depth and your backup and for undrafted free agents to possibly make the team, you know what I mean? Or figure out who's going to make your special teams, stuff like that. You pretty much know as a coaching staff and as an organization in the preseason with training camp who your starters are going to be. As an organization. Most organizations know. So it'll be definitely interesting to see how the Niners go about this preseason for sure. Samson Abucom has also had a really strong camp from what they're saying. Looking really strong out there, getting around the edge, giving fits to the 49ers. Not a lot of this is going against Trent Williams, so take that with a grain of salt. You're going against, you know, McGlinchey or whoever your backup tackle is. So, again, take all that with a grain of salt. We don't know who and what is happening and who's going against who. But, you know, it's good to see and hear that, you know, a guy like Samson Abucom, who really wasn't used to his full advantage or his full playing ability in L.A., is going to give a chance to really get after the quarterback here in San Francisco. So, definitely can't wait to see that. Danielle Jimenez says, if Trey is declared the starter before week 1, do you see the Colts trading for Jimmy G? I made a video about that, just kind of like putting that out there. Or I didn't make a video about it. I mentioned it in one of my videos that it's a proposed trade, but not by the NFL. It's by like other people. And they said that would be an interesting proposed trade. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. The 49ers, so they've been still standing pat on having Jimmy stay here for at least this season. So I would assume if somebody blows their doors off with an offer, then they might make the move. But if that doesn't happen, I see them holding on to Jimmy as a high-level backup because he's, you know, if you think about it, him as a backup, he's probably the best backup in the NFL. As a starter, he's a marginal, you know, 17th to 20th rated passer in the league. So Pinor says, I lost faith in Richie James Jr. Kinlaw's arthritic knees is a time bomb. Yeah, that's a good one. Thanks for talking about that. If Hurt is healthy, and that doesn't mean his full potential is there anymore because of okay, let me read that over again. I lost faith in Richie James Jr. Kinlaw's arthritic knees is a time bomb. If Hurt is healthy, that doesn't mean his full potential is there anymore because of his injuries. Jimmy is garbage. Yeah, like you're never gonna get the full athlete after you've had that many injuries to whatever body part, whether it be your knee or your back. You're definitely gonna get a diminished version of that player. But I would take it. I'm not gonna sit there and be against it. But he's not going to be the guy that we had coming out of college. So fans need to wrap their mind around that. And, be aware of that and not be like, oh, I thought this guy was the second coming of whoever. Because when you have that many injuries, especially lower body injuries, you're never going to be the same. And then the back injuries in football are career killers because it's such a physical sport. There's so much crashing in and contact that there's no way your back can hold up over a long career when you have back issues. So, yeah, as far as Jimmy being garbage, Jimmy is a high level backup, and he's a average starter in the NFL. Nothing more, nothing less. He's a functional average starter. Maybe sometimes slightly above average, but for the most part, that's what I see him as. He's not elite, and he's not going to get you to where you want to go. He has a limited skill set. He'll do some things well for you, but he'll also frustrate the hell out of you with all the interceptions and turnovers. So it is what it is. We've seen what Jimmy is, and it's never going to change. So that's why they made the room for Trey Lance. Rome the Upsetter says, I feel we'll be more dominant than 2019. I hope so. If we can stay healthy, maybe we have a really good squad, for sure. We got a really good squad, for sure. Robert Tencap says, do you think Bosa will start this year or be the same guy? Also, did you hear Mostert talk about his brace on his lateral PC? I think they should show Jimmy how Niner football is played, hence Ronnie Lott. What? What? Like have him get hit by Ronnie Lott? I don't know, man. Oh, I know what you mean. You're talking about the pinky and having to cut it off and all that stuff. Yeah. We'll see with Bosa. This is his second knee surgery and knee injury since high school. So, if we get anywhere near what we get in 2019, then I think we'll be good. But, it's gonna be a wait and see approach, bro. Because like knee injuries are no joke, and you don't want to rush him back. So, definitely gonna be a wait and see on him. And then the Mostert thing, yeah, he was upset that people were saying he was injured again, and he was all pissed off. The way I look at it is, you can't really be pissed off at fans or media people for saying that you're injured again when you're pretty much injured all the time and you're in and out of the lineup. But at the same time, unless people have facts, they shouldn't report it as news. So I kind of understand what he's saying, you know? Pinor says the Colts rather lose on purpose and get a stud in the draft who is cheaper and their guy instead of paying for anything above a fourth. Plus, Aaron Rodgers is playing next year. They don't want Jimmy. Yeah, I don't blame him. Latest press conference? Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Okay. Sean Bullard. Hosts, that's what he is. Yeah, I've had some Rombo stands come after me. Rombo just has a different viewpoint on Jimmy. I'm not a Jimmy hater. I'm just a Jimmy realist. So if people want to come at me because they think I hit Jimmy, then so be it. We have better wide receivers, better running backs, better corners, more experienced linebacking core, and most importantly, a better QB. Agreed. We definitely have upgraded in a lot of areas. Although reports coming out of camp are that have Ambry Thomas struggling a bit, so we might want to pump the brakes on that a little. But he is a rookie corner, and he's going up against pro receivers. So hopefully he can get it together and learn something and get better in camp before the season starts. And a better O-line, definitely. Yeah, we improved by signing and getting an entrenched left tackle. We got better at center, and hopefully we have a better right guard once Aaron Banks gets in there. But I agree about that. You're awesome, bro. Oh, thank you very much. Another person they said that's been standing out at camp, I don't know if you guys have heard this, but Mohamed Sanu apparently is, doing really well. I'm not really super excited about the whole Mohamed Sanu thing just because, his age and, I just feel that slot position is a younger man's position. Not saying that he can't do well and he's not good to have for depth, but there's talk that Austin Watkins Jr. is having a good camp. The undrafted free agent. He's big on Larry Krueger's board. Larry Krueger is really high on him, so be interesting to see how Austin Watkins fares if he ends up making the final roster. But yeah, that third wide receiver position is totally up in the air, is totally for grabs, kind of like the corners. So that's definitely a wait and see for sure. Rome the upsetter. I feel Verrett and Mosley are better than Sherman and Mosley by far. Yeah, I agree. A healthy Verrett at this point in his career compared to where Sherman is in his career is vastly better corner. Look what he did to D-Hop last year. And, especially when he gets to play man-to-man, he really gets a chance to get on guys. You don't have to worry about him, whereas, you had to worry about Sherman going one-on-one with anybody who had any speed whatsoever or any ability to change direction quickly. It was always my hands were always, crossed that he wasn't going to get torched. That's why he gave up so much room underneath. If you notice, Sherman won't get beat deep, but he'll give up like a 15-yard out or a 15-yard in just to protect his butt from getting beat deep. So, yeah, I definitely think we're better for sure. 2 years ago, I wanted to chop off my pinky for appreciation for Ronnie Lott and the 49ers. My girl might have stopped me, but if I ever break up with her, it's done deal. Goodbye, pinky. Hell yeah, dude. That's true grit right there. And I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know if you should cut off your pinky, but, I can't tell you what to do. Everybody's fanism or fanhood is different. So if that's how you want to show your appreciation for Ronnie Lott, then I'm not going to stop you. I expect Sanu to ball this season. I hope so. I just, I'm a little weary about him being, the entrenched number 3. I just want someone who's younger and more electric to snatch that position. But I'm not against him having a productive year. Last year he was hurt. He had a high ankle sprain. And, Shanahan said he wasn't the same player. So I'm glad he's healthier this offseason and he's doing well in camp. And I think he's going to make the 53. I really do. I don't know where on the 53 he's going to make it, but I believe he's going to make the 53 for sure. So far with camp, though, injuries haven't been too bad. We had the ones that happened in the, OTAs, Jeff Wilson Jr. and I'm trying to remember who else was done for the season. But as far as training camp goes, we've had a lot better, I think, management of our injuries. They said that camp has been a lot lighter in a lot shorter sessions. So, they're ramping it up little by little to get it to where it's going to be when they put pads on. So maybe Shanahan is finally starting to learn that you can't, bang guys' heads against the wall, all camp and expect to get out with injuries or not have injuries. So we will see. The defense, I believe, will be so much better. Practicing against mobile QB and Lance, hopefully we won't get burned by mobile QBs this year like the previous year due to our addition. Agreed. I heard that somewhere else, too. They were talking about the same thing. That the fact that we can go up against a guy like that in camp and get us to see it all the time, it will definitely help us against guys like Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson and stuff like that. So I definitely agree with you. Shout out to Niner Sickness. They're that overlay. It looks awesome. Yeah, he's awesome. I went on his, me and him, I had him on my stream the other day, and he's awesome, man. He's a good dude, Niner Sickness. If you guys don't know, go subscribe to his channel, Niner Sickness. Good guy. Really faithful 49er fan for many years, even more than me. The OG of fans. And give his channel some support. He puts a lot of work into his stuff. and he definitely needs the views and the likes and the subs because he puts a lot of work into his channel. So I just want to shout out to Niner Sickness for the overlay on my screen and just for being an awesome content creator who is always willing to help others. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, it's everything's been kind of, par for the course for training camp. Um, like I said, the corner's position is something of a concern of mine because, Ambry Thomas has been struggling. I don't know how Diamadora Lenore has been doing, but as of now, they say Ambry Thomas is having a rough camp. And, for what the Niners didn't do in free agency in the corner market, it's a little bit of a concern for me. Now, I don't know if they have or are they going to work out Trey Kirkpatrick, the ex-Cardinals corner. But I don't know what really he offers other than just depth, how much better he is than the current crop of backups that we have, like a Dante Johnson. So, yeah, definitely interesting. Something to watch for in the preseason. I just want the injuries to be a bare minimum and not really be something that we have to worry about this season because I feel like this team at full strength, we may not be Tampa Bay Buck level, but we can be pretty damn good. So my top 5 49er channels, in my opinion, probably Grant Cohn, Nothing But Niners, John Chapman's channel, I know I'm missing some right now. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of another couple. I can't think of another 2 right now. So I got Nothing But Niners, Grant Cohn, Ronbo, of course, Ronbo Sports. Whether we agree on things or not, he's still, the OG of 49ers YouTube. And I'm trying to think of what else. One other channel that is like an OG channel that's really good. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I mean, we have a group of guys like 49ers Ultimate Report, CG Ruthless Sports, myself, Jay in the Bay, Niner Sickness. We got a group of young, YouTubers from, varying ages. Amin the Dream is 13, and he has a 49ers channel that I think you guys should check out. He knows a lot of stuff for a young guy. I had him on my channel, and I was very impressed with his knowledge of the 49ers, only being 13. But, I have like 4. It's hard to say. I would have to have the channels in front of me to be able to tell you all of them. But there's a good amount. I know Eric Crocker, Beast Rider. Thank you very much. Eric Crocker, Beast Rider. He's really good. Yeah, you've never heard of Nothing But Niners? Yeah, they're like a collaborative channel. They have like multiple hosts. They've been around a while. I think since like 2017. Like they do what I do, but like there's usually like 3 guys on there all the time. And they've grown from a small channel to a really big 49er channel. They've been, they do it all, We're all different levels, everybody's got their own niche. And yeah, they're really good. Personally, as you get into this and you start doing your own channel, you don't pay attention as much to others. I mean, I still look at other people's channels just to see, how people go about doing stuff and the way they talk and the way they present things and kind of trying to get ideas that I can pick at, not necessarily copy, but, ways I can improve things and stuff. I've always looked at my channel as a glorified podcast, really. There's people that do film breakdowns and stuff like that are really awesome. I'm not that level of YouTuber. But yeah, there's lots of them. There's lots of good channels out there for each and every type of taste, There's ones that out there that just scream and yell and, talk trash. There's ones that, use film and break down film. Whatever you want, you got. Like Eric Crocker, for instance, played defensive back in the NFL, and he has that experience to help him in his explaining of things, especially when it comes to defensive backs. Your channel is going to be insane in 222. I'll definitely be on the lookout for it, bro. Definitely. Theron Stewart says, I hope we don't have him, but if we have another losing season, what do you think about getting Eric Bieniemy? He's definitely an up-and-coming he should have a head coaching job already, honest with you, but definitely a name to look out for. That would be a guy that you'd plug right into the Niners if, say, something happened as a coach. You know what I mean? If Shanahan can't get it done, you bring a guy like Bieniemy in with the roster we already have, and you never know, man. Some coaches just have the ability to get the team over the top, and some don't. So, I mean, look at Andy Reid for all those years. People said he was a choke artist and this and that, and then he finally got the Chiefs, and they finally won a Super Bowl. And, everybody looks at Andy Reid differently now. So, Kyle Shanahan's kind of in the same light. If Shanahan somehow leads this team to a championship, all of a sudden his opinion is going to be different than what it is right now. All people say now is whatever. They call him a choke artist or whatever. So, definitely something to be aware of. This season is definitely important, If we have another losing season with a lot of injuries, someone's going to have to pay the price, and someone's going to have to, take responsibility for it, especially when you've had the opportunity to change things and you haven't. Someone needs to be responsible for that, and whether that's John Lynch or, someone in the front office, whatever, something has to happen. When do I think Lance will start? Man, I don't know, man. I could say week 1, but then people will go crazy on me. But it depends. We don't know what goes on in practice. I don't know. Week 8, he comes out after the bye week, or week 7, and he's the starter the rest of the way. I really don't know, man. If Jimmy plays his same old, like 50-50 kind of, 2 touchdowns to 1 interception kind of football, and, Shanahan thinks that he can get more out of the offense with Trey, I wouldn't be surprised if Trey came in. Remember, Trey's the future, so whether that future starts this year or next year or week 1, we really don't know at this point. Eric Bieniemy should have a job in the NFL 2 years ago. Jim Schroeder told Beast Writer in April that. Yeah, he's a fantastic offensive coordinator. I think that's what he is. He doesn't get enough credit, but he definitely should have been a head coach already for sure. You're right. Is John Lynch on the hot seat if they turn down a second-round draft pick for Jimmy? It's really hard to say because I don't know if you remember during the draft or after the draft, Jed York was heard saying that, he doesn't mind if Trey sits 2 seasons. So from at least Jed York's perspective, he's all on board with Jimmy being the starter, Trey being the backup for a while. So I don't know if John Lynch would be on the hot seat because you're getting a vote of confidence from your owner saying he wouldn't mind if Trey sat 2 seasons. So we'll see. I don't know. Someone's going to be on the hot seat for sure if this team struggles again and has injury problems. But if they turn down a second for Jimmy, I don't know, man. I don't know if you can turn down a second for Jimmy. The Niners need to recoup as many draft picks as they can, so that will be interesting. Teams are going to be desperate, if they have injuries and stuff, and it'd be how willing are the 49ers to play ball with somebody who needs a quarterback, and how comfortable they with starting a rookie with the team that supposedly is ready to win right now is definitely a wait and see type thing. I do not know. We will wait and see. I get nervous before football season hits because there's so many unknowns, but then it happens and it's a whole other level of stress. Can't believe people would defend Jimmy so much when there's somebody way better than him. Do they feel sorry for Jimmy, or they want to prove everyone that he can win a Super Bowl? I'm lost. It's a good question. People have this thing in their mind about his record and that he just wins, but they don't take into consideration everything around him. Now, has he had some great games with the 49ers? Yes. The New Orleans game comes to mind immediately. But he's also had some games where he is, just he borders on that, almost trying to lose it for you type play where, he'll play well for a bit and then he'll throw an interception that doesn't make any sense. And then you'll play better again. And then the next week he'll come out and you'll play fantastic. And the next week he'll come out and he's throwing interceptions and he's playing poorly and he's getting stripped and he's taking sacks. And it to me, Jimmy is what he is. He's a average to slightly above average starter who has many limitations in his game. He craters in the pocket when there's pressure. And he is what he is. We've seen what he is, and he's never going to change. And Trey offers so many different things. And 49er fans need to realize that they traded away 3 number ones this year's and 2 others. This is just a matter of time. So say what you want about Jimmy, how he's been wronged or he's been taken for granted. He's not the future quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. And when people can get that through their head, they'll be a lot happier, because there's people out there that just love Jimmy. But, if you have a chance to get better at the quarterback position and you have a window to win a Super Bowl, why not do it? You don't stand pat because you not want to hurt somebody's feelings. You know what I mean? So Jimmy Titus is the diagnosis. The cure is Trey Lance, and it's free of charge. Nice. So 2019 was a fluke. Any QB would have led us to the Super Bowl. I definitely think we could have played better in 2019. I thought Jimmy played well in 2019, but then he also showed reasons why, Kyle Shanahan gets frustrated with some of the level of play that he shows sometimes. He's very erratic in that way. Like I said, he could play a game like New Orleans game where you think he's arrived, and then he can play another game right after that where you just, in your mind, you can't understand what happened between one game and the next, Jimmy is the reason why Mac Jones would have been a horrible pick at 6. Big what-if scenario, but if Lance shows he should be the starter before the trade deadline and Xavier Howard is still available, do you think the 49ers should trade Jimmy and go after Howard? Oh, man. You know how bad I want Xavier Howard on this team. It's not going to happen. The Niners don't have the capital. And unless they're not going to trade him to Miami, a quarterback to Miami, but if they traded him to somewhere and they were able to accumulate a couple picks and they had a package for him, Howard, then I could see that happening. But who knows what they're going to ask for Xavier Howard. Some people have said it's a 2nd and a 5th. In my estimation, he should be a multiple first, or I don't know. He's my brother's a Dolphins fan, so I have a different opinion of Xavier Howard than other people do because I've seen him play, and my brother is a big fan of his. So, but who knows? The league might have different value on him, and maybe the Niners could land him, but I just don't foresee it happening. You mean number 3? Yeah, I got you. Whoop. Larry Krueger said the same thing about Jimmy, Aaron. Larry's a smart guy. Definitely. Jay in the Bay, I've been through this many times. If a kid's seen me in the comments before, it's exhausting arguing these same points to people who have Jimmy-itis. That's why I can't get mad at you. No, Jay just has an open mind and he's able to see all arguments and perspectives. Some of us are just more to jump to conclusions about something being done or over with, or somebody sucks or something. Some people are able to kind of think, more politically, seeing both sides of the argument type thing. So why is Jimmy on the team? Shanahan still believes in him. If the 49ers should have cut Jimmy months ago, then get an average QB to fill in until Trey is ready. Yeah, I mean, I just think he's the best option right now until Trey proves it otherwise. And to get rid of Jimmy and have no safety net for the rookie would be asinine. However, if Trey balls out and it's proof that we don't need someone like Jimmy, and a team is offering something that is enticing, I could see the Niners make a move, but I don't know. It's a hard question. It's a really hard question to ask and answer because we don't know. We have no idea. Oh, hello, Junior Styles. What's up, bro? Love the podcast. This man right here grew up with me. He's known me since I was a very, very, very young man. We used to play backyard ball together, early 90s. He's known me before I was 49ers First Takes and just Aaron. So thank you, Brandon, for coming on, bro. I appreciate the love, and I appreciate it, man. Thanks for someone from the old neighborhood coming on here and saying what's up. It means a lot to me, brother. I've never seen you before in the comments. I respect your opinion. See, Jay's a good guy. Jay just likes both. He believes in an equal argument. You know what I mean? Both sides, and I respect that. I'm a little bit more kind of like I shoot off at the mouth type thing, and I don't always think. Where Jay kind of makes you think a little bit, lets you marinate on your thoughts before you just come out and say something. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna have you on here one of these days, and we can talk Niners. That'd be something. Be fun. Get the whole neighborhood, man. Maybe we'll get Mikey B on here too, and we could talk about the Cowboys. If you're still mad at me for my take on Hammer, I'm sorry, Pinora. I have so much respect, man. You know it, man. Appreciate it, brother. It definitely would be fun. Get someone from the old neighborhood on here, and we could talk Cowboys, 49ers like the old days. I'm trying to figure out what this question is about. If somebody can enlighten me. I'm missing the point on here. Do I have a take on the running backs? Sorry if I missed it. No, I haven't talked about it yet. Personally, I'm of the mindset of, I would like to see Raheem Mostert be healthy and get the majority, not the majority of the carries, but he's electric and he can make things happen in a heartbeat. He could break off a 80-yard run in a heartbeat. But I feel like to get the best out of a guy like Mostert, you got to spell him. And we have so many running backs right now that is a possibility. We lost Jeff Wilson Jr., but we got a guy like Wayne Gallman. We got a guy like Trey Sermon. I'm trying to think of the other running back that we drafted. And we have a lot of depth right now running back. So, we can run a really diverse backfield where, everybody gets touches and we don't wear anybody out. You know what I mean? Like, Mostert's a lot smaller and quicker, and he's not a guy that's, what you consider a bell cow, right? So if you get a bigger back, say like a Trey Sermon, to go in there and be a banger, when Jeff Wilson was in there, he was a banger. You want to have a couple bangers on your, at running back to kind of, absorb some punishment to keep a guy like Raheem Mostert fresh throughout the season. So I'm excited about this running back position for sure. You were on the Jack Hammer show and you defended Jimmy. Oi. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Jack Hammer guy. Isaiah, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think it's Isaiah Mitchell. I'm not sure if it's Michael, but I could be wrong. But yeah, thank you very much. I don't hate you. I understand. I know we were talking Yeah. Hey, you can agree to disagree. Listen, I agree to disagree on the Jordan versus LeBron debate with my own nephew. And we've had some pretty spirited, uh, emotional discussions where feelings got a little bit, not hurt, but people got a little bit loud. So, you just got to learn. You just got to learn to sometimes when you argue that you got to take the argument for face value and not let personal feelings get in the way. Same thing with the Joe Montana Brady discussion. I've had the same thing with my nephew too, and he thinks I'm a curmudgeony old man who doesn't want to change and lives in the past. And to an extent, he's right. And I've learned to be more open-minded and to look at the bigger picture. But yeah, some channels I just don't agree with. Me and Jack Hammer don't have the best back and forth either because I was really crapping on him for his take on Mac Jones and how Mac Jones was going to be the quarterback. And he didn't really want to hear about it. But it is what it is. Everybody has a right to an opinion. To be clear, on the record, I am not, you're not a Jimmy G fan. I am a fan of winning. And whatever that means, I'm in. If it means Trey Lance takes over, I'm in. If it means Jimmy can find a way to be better than he was in 2019, I'll take it. But I'm also a big picture guy, and I want to see this team be good for a long period of time. And the only way that's going to happen is if they can get a stable quarterback who's not hurt all the time, who can be elite and make elite plays when we need him to in big moments. So it's a big picture thing, man. That's the way I look at it. Definitely. I can be a little bit biased sometimes. I'm not going to lie, but, we're never going to draft Mackey Wacky. Right. What's up, Jay? How you doing? Thanks for popping on here, man. I appreciate it. I think as 49er content creators, we hold a great responsibility to hold players, coaches, owners, and each other accountable. Definitely. And I'm learning how to be a little bit more PG than rated than R currently. Yeah, we should. Sometimes the media doesn't hold the team accountable. Some media members are very PG. They don't really ask the hard questions. Say what you want about Grant Cohn. He will ask the hard questions sometimes, and people's feelings get really tore up. I'm included. I've gotten mad at him for stuff too, but he's not a fan, so he asks questions with he's not biased. He's not a 49ers fan. So we got to learn to kind of step back and, not take things personally sometimes when it comes to the Niners, but at the same time, yeah, hold people accountable, bro. Even as YouTubers, if you disagree with something with somebody, don't be afraid to, interact with them in a, good way and not in a healthy, healthy dialogue. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as people don't get personal and take shots at each other. Because, then it's not about sports. Then it's just people being petty. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm enjoying this chat here, guys. You guys are awesome. I'm enjoying the vigor that this 49ers training camp is bringing out of people, because a lot of people are really getting sick and tired of the injuries and the losing, and they just want to win. And if they think Trey Lance is that guy and he can do it, they want it to happen. And I totally understand that, because I feel the same way. It's I'm a cynical 49ers fan. I've seen some really good football in my lifetime, and I realize that the quarterback position is the most important position on the team, and quarterback is a position that can make or break a team's Super Bowl window. If you have a man that, can't make big plays in big situations, doesn't have elite level skills, it can cost you. And, I'm not saying Trey Lance is going to be the second coming of Tom Brady, but he has elite level attributes. And he has things that he can offer to this offense that we haven't had yet. So am I excited and hoping he gets in there sooner than later? Absolutely. Am I crapping on Jimmy just to crap on Jimmy? No. Jimmy's put enough out there on tape that we can have an honest conversation about it, and people need not get mad about it because he's proven that he can't stay healthy, and that's a fact. So many names that can come up with Mac Jones. Wasn't one of them Snack Jones? Because he's he's built like me, but I'm 41. He's got like a dad bod, so they were calling him Snack Jones for a while. Because he's a little bit, that picture of him with the belly hanging out and stuff with the cigar, yeah. Antonio Seabrock says, I think Jalen Hurd can really unlock this offense. Do you agree? If he was healthy and could get on the field, yeah, I do. Now, his level of skill, I don't know what it's going to be off of 2 major injuries. But would he be like a Swiss Army knife type player that could really do a lot for us? Absolutely. I 100% agree. But he's got to get on the field. He wasn't on the field on Saturday. Nobody knows why. So hopefully we'll get an answer on Monday for sure. McDonald Jones, yeah. That one's kind of basic, though. McDonald, you know. Mackey Wacky is a good one. I appreciate that one. Man, I can't believe I've been on here almost an hour. You guys have made it fun to talk 49ers. I've been on like a 8-week or 8-day vacation from work. I go back early tomorrow morning, so I'm probably going to wrap this thing up. But I will be on Jay and the Bay stream on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern time. So check me out on Jay and the Bay's channel. We're probably going to go over a lot of the same stuff we talked about today. Support Jay and the Bay, and a really good friend of mine on here. He's a great YouTuber with an awesome channel, very engaging personality, funny. Go check out Jay and the Bay for sure. Jimmy G hasn't improved at all since 2017. If anything, Jimmy has shown digression on his team. He isn't mobile when he first came to us and hasn't improved any part of his game. So many excuses. That I agree with. I can agree with you on that one. He's the same quarterback, essentially, if not a little worse, because he can't scramble anymore because of his knee. Because remember, when he came in, he was slinging it, and we were not going to make the playoffs, and he was looking amazing. We thought he was like the second coming. Comes into the next season, looks shaky against the Lions, and then gets hurt a couple weeks later, and it's pretty much been the same ever since. So I agree. Definitely, bro. Hopefully Jalen Hurd gets back healthy. Definitely. Gotta go. Get going to go watch CG stream. See you all, faithful. All right, Jay. Our 49ers Ultimate Report. John Jay, take care, brother. Appreciate it. Just trust Jimmy G, man. I'm going on CG live stream too. All right, guys. Well, that's my cue to go. It's been great for you guys to come on here and talk to me. Appreciate it very much. And hopefully I'll see you guys Wednesday when I'm on Jay and the Bay stream. But until then, guys, stay safe and healthy. And as you know, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Take care.